And that's also part of one of the other problems we've seen is, oh man, penalties. Some of the penalties are ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. If you're driving along and you decide I'm just going to turn into you because you're in my way and you hit someone, yeah, man, give them a penalty. I'm all up for that. No problem. But when we see silly ones where two of them are going around a corner, both of them are nailing it, and you get a little snap of oversteer and bump wheels. Oh, 5 second penalty for you. You're like, oh no, come on.
Yeah.
Because any racing those two drivers were going to do, through the rest of that race, you have now nullified because that other driver has now got a 5 second penalty. Okay, we don't want them to hit wheels. Fine, no problem. But they were in full control of their car. Little snaps of oversteer. I'm sorry, but these are 1,000 horsepower cars that weigh 760 kilos to 800 kilos. Are you telling me it's like, oh yeah, he did that on purpose just to get the corner? No, he didn't. No, he did not. It's so pathetic when you see things like that.
I think one of the examples then we mentioned this the other week, Zandvoort, Sainz going around the outside of Lawson. Lawson had the understeer, but Sainz got the penalty.
Yes.
Okay, it got rescinded later on, but it doesn't matter. They got rescinded 2 or 3 days after the race. It basically ruined Sainz's race, and all he did was put his car in a very good position around the outside.
Yeah.
But because he wasn't wheel to wheel, front wheel to front wheel around the outside, I've got the guidelines up right here, right? And we chatted about this before. Overtaking on the inside and outside, it shouldn't be on the inside and outside. It should just be overtaking.
Yeah.
Right. But around the outside, effectively, you've got to be front wheel to front wheel at the apex. So you've got to have the overtake pretty much done. Right.
Yeah.
On the inside, you've got to be alongside the mirror. So you've got to have the overtake, pretty much done.
Yeah.
There's no room for fighting this through the corner. Around the outside, you've got to be all the way around the outside.
Yeah.
In the inside, you've pretty much got to be right up the inside. Or any contact, and you're the one at fault.
Yeah.
And that's no way to encourage racing.
No,
you're basically saying to them, listen, and I think DRS has got a lot to answer for with this, because the DRS thing is like, oh, well, you've got DRS, you should be there on a lot of places. You should have it done by then anyway, which took all the racing out. Takes all the racing out of it. You open the wing and you're away. Whereas what I'd like to see is, was your front tyre or your front wing alongside their rear tyre going into the braking zone? And were you in control of your car?
Yeah.
Right. So, and by in control of your car, I mean, did you lock up? If you locked up, you're not in control because you can't slow down and you can't steer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, were you a bit later on the brakes, but you stayed in control, but part of your car was along the back of there? You could push it and say front wheel to back wheel, right?
Yeah.
Were you at that point going into designated braking zone, right? If you were, you've bought space.
Yeah.
And you should be allowed to race that space. If you're on the outside, you should be afforded room on the outside on the exit. If you're on the inside, you should be afforded room on the inside of the apex.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not locked up, that's fine. In my opinion.
I think part of it is it all we want to see is the F1 drivers. It's like, oh, look, we've just had, I don't know, for instance, Sainz overtake Leclerc on a straight. Wow, round of applause. You overtook somebody in a straight line. Congratulations. Or do we want to see what we saw a couple of years ago at Silverstone when it must have been 2022 because it was the zero pod Mercedes, and it was Perez, Leclerc, and Hamilton. And and they were all racing around, and it's that soundbite that Sky use every time it's going on to the F1. They go, "Through goes Hamilton," and you're like, "Yeah, but play 10 seconds later and it got overtook." But
I was about to say that.
that racing, no, seriously, that racing, that like half a lap going through those S's and everything, that was some of the best racing in years, because it was one car overtaking another car, and then another one gets in the battle. And more than anything, it's like Leclerc got pushed off track on one corner, then Perez on another corner, then Hamilton, and then. But you know what? I'm sure if they looked at that with last year's rules, there would have been at least 3 5-second penalties. There would have been several investigations, and you just think, no, seriously, we want to see that kind of racing, race in, race out. And I understand the cars were a lot more undefined then. It was the first year of the new regulations, so everyone was sort of driving around in a van effectively. So the cars were a lot closer. But man, that was a cracking bit of racing. And I'm not interested whose wheel, where, why, and when. I don't care. If you're both in control of your cars and you're going around a corner side by side or slightly behind or slightly in front or whatever, just let them race. I don't care about this, getting up on a sky pad at the end and drawing lines across corners. I'm not a 5-year-old. I can see a line imaginary in my head. Stop drawing lines on a TV. I'm sick of looking at arrows and wing mirrors to wheels. I'm so sick of it, man. It's like when you're watching the weather and they point at the cloud. I know what a cloud looks like. Don't tell me what a cloud looks like.
It's
Do you know what I
raining
mean?
sideways.
Yeah, but it's so stupid and it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, it really gets me.
I'm with you. I mean, just while you were talking, then I just started thinking, like, we laud the likes of Senna, Schumacher, Prost, Mika Hakkinen, Damon Hill, Nigel Mansell. We laud these racers, these drivers. Could you imagine if they tried to race in this era of rules?
No, they wouldn't be allowed. No.
They'd all be on 12 points after three races.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. And people look at that era of F1 and go, look at the battles, look at the races, like wheel to wheel. Yeah, they were taking chunks out of each other, but wasn't it incredible? I know there's rose-tinted glasses to everything, right? But if you want exciting racing, if you want wheel-to-wheel action, you've got to kind of say, we're not going to punish you for the slightest of interactions.